Welcome to the Epic Engagement Adventure. My name, and I am your host, RJ Redden. But you didn't come here to find that out. You came here so that you could hear from my friend Eddie Wilders. Listen, this man and I were instant best friends. And we tend to talk a lot. So I'm just gonna say this. Hold on. Hold on for the ride today because we're gonna be going a lot of places. We're not necessarily gonna warn you first. But he does something special for a living, and he does something special for engagement. We're gonna dive into all of that. Eddie, welcome to the show.
RJ, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I just want to echo your statement about talking. I love to talk. I love hearing myself talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most narcissistic thing about me.
There you go.
But you know what? If we talk for the next 6.5 hours, it might not be long enough.
It
Might not be long enough. It might not be long enough. I'm just saying. Like there's a possibility we may not even talk about what we're going to talk about, or we'll talk about it for 5 minutes, move on to the next. But I'm going to follow your lead. I'm very excited about talking about what I do. I'm very excited about, about how I go about it, because it's something that I've been toying with for the last, I guess, 7 odd years or so. So still not perfected, but nothing never will be.
No, the world moves way too fast for perfection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, so let's just start off
Yeah.
with who are you, what you do?
Hi, my name is Eddie. In a life that is not here in this room right here, I am a game show host, but every day I am what I consider to be a career consultant. And what that means is at any point in your career, I can come in and help you navigate that world, strategize, plan, figure out what you want to do when you want to grow up. If you ever want to grow up, move from point A to point B. And along those lines, it is the strategy, it is the planning that goes in that I really focus on, making sure that your documents, your resume, your LinkedIn profile are telling the same story, that your value proposition and your elevator pitch are telling the same story. Anything that's within social media, anything that's online that people are going to go see and look at, and your branding, it's telling the same story. So I think there's a lot of that is missed by a lot of job seekers, whether they're unemployed, looking to change careers, looking to become a consultant, looking to become a fractional CXO. A lot of those things are missed as they're going through the process, especially job seekers that are unemployed. I'm just going to hit the apply button 700 times and hope for an interview. And that's while that worked back in 2000 when I was getting a job through monster.com and sending out my resume through through the mail.
Yeah,
I remember I put my resume into an envelope, put a stamp on it, and sent it through the mailbox.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Like,
Yeah.
you explain that
Yeah.
to people now and they go, like, was that the olden days? Or yeah.
Yeah, that was 5.0 floppy disks. that was dial tone phones that were connected to the wall with I had the Garfield phone.
And it only did one thing. It just
only made
called
phone
people.
calls. Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Yep.
Why would anyone settle for something like that? Well, it was all
Analog.
Yeah,
I had analog.
analog.
I mean, I went to, not to date myself, but I'm going to age and date myself. When I went to college, we did not have our email system was DOS. So it was a black screen with orange writing.
Yes.
And it wasn't like a Gmail. It was It was a very simple DOS uh, system, and it was not good.
No, in no way was it.
No way,
No,
shape, or form.
no, and you had to know exactly what to do. There was no, "Oh, let's
Hmm.
explore and see if I can." No, you needed to
Nope.
know the path, and if you didn't know, you had to
Yes.
go find someone that knew.
It you had to enter you literally I think you had to do C:// your email address and then your password, and then it brought up this box, and you had to use the arrows on the keyboard to get to arrow,
Mhm,
enter, type, arrow, enter, send. It was like, okay,
mhm,
that's all we knew.
mhm.
That's all we knew. Yeah. Oh, I have stories. I have stories.
What the my favorite thing is when you watch a movie from, like, 20 years ago, which could have, in my mind, happened yesterday, and you see the clunk that they dealt with, like,
Oh
were
yeah.
m were monitors that big? Like, I mean, what's happening there exactly? Yeah, it's amazing, and it's a little bit aging.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, one of the best sitcoms of all time, Saved by the Bell, and I will fight anyone who argues with me. The brick cell phone, it just the fact that that was a technological advancement in 1989 is mind-boggling. And it's something that I show that to my daughter, and she's like, "Why does he have a brick in his hand? Like
Yes.
that's a phone." She's no, that's not a phone. That's not a this is a phone. And takes out her, you know, toy iPhone that doesn't work anymore. She's like, "No, this is a phone. That was a phone."
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
audience, if you don't know already, this is exactly what you're gonna be getting for the next however long we're on. Beautiful. So, job seekers or people who simply wanna navigate where they're at in the career universe, the point between point A and point B, these are your people.
These are my people. These are I live with the folks that are unfortunately have the open to work banner on
Mm,
LinkedIn, that are the folks that have been at their company for 5 years. Excuse me, that have been there for 5 years, that are that have been out of the job seeking market long enough to know that it has changed
mhm.
7 times since then. They I live with the people that are 25 years into their career and are ready to retire but are not ready to fully retire, that want those 10 hours a week of work. That's my that's my universe. Those are my people. Those are the people that I talk to every day, multiple times a day. They're the people that are I would say it's a little bit harder to crack them out of their
Yeah,
shell a little bit, because I mean I've been on the job seeking end of things. I know how demoralizing it can be. I know how sad and lonely of a world it is
oh, yeah.
sometimes, and it's just I was I don't want to say I was embarrassed, but I it was hard for me to get into the situation, how to get moving forward and accepting help and asking for help. I think both of those things are it's a tough go. So to navigate those waters is something that I like helping people do, to navigate those waters, to get through that, to understand that they're not alone, to understand that it's not as scary a place as they think it is in their head. And at the same time, that they're worth the job that they're going to find, and they're worth the salary that they're be going to be given. They're not worth a company to step all over them
Yeah.
during an interview process, during a ghosting situation, whatever it might be. There's a company that's right for everyone. It's the same way as, you get into the dating world and you find that perfect someone, you find your other half. well, there's a job out there. There's a company out there that is your better half.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's beautiful because, like, everybody talks about the return to office mandates and, the the people are out there going, "No, you must be in the office." And they're the fact that they are losing that war, darlings.
Oh, I know it. Oh, I know it. I
Um,
mean, butts in seats went out in should have gone out in the early
oh,
90s. Definitely should have went out into 2000s. Should not have gone into the 2010s. But I'm very happy that here we are in the 2020s, and we're finally getting into the butts in seats does not make any difference within industries. I mean, I know that if I was a surgeon, I cannot perform brain surgery from my desk. Like I have to be in the hospital. I have to be with utensils and tools and cutting up somebody's
yeah,
head.
and
Yeah, no,
hopefully
I
people
know that.
around you who knew something about
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I need the support system around me as a surgeon to do all that. I know I can't do it from here. To to help someone find a job now. Like I can do that here. And there are plenty of industries that should remain 100% remote if that's what needs to happen. But at the same time, I do not begrudge someone who wants to be in the office setting. I don't, just because I don't ever want to be in an office ever again doesn't mean that, everybody else doesn't want to be as well. They want to be in the office. And that's fine. They, to each their own. And you can't put somebody in a box because they don't want to be in an office, and you can't put somebody in a box because they want to be in an office. Yeah, the flexibility has to be there. And I think I think as companies are getting younger, and by that I mean CEOs are getting
Yeah,
younger, you're going to find more and more of that flexibility. There's still going to be plenty of companies that are like, nope, we need you in the office. There needs to be camaraderie. There needs to be all of this. And then there's going to be, nope, you can work from home because I know that you're going to take care of what you need to take care of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you feel like, I mean, because I remember we were talking before we got on about how it used to be, applying for jobs and things like that, and well, the it used to be, such a standardized sort of process, such a just jam that submit button 700 times and pray you'll get something back. Do you find that with do you find there's an increasing individualization about companies, the way they offer jobs, who they're offering jobs to?
Oh, I think it's gotten worse. I think it's a terrible job market right now. I think there's there's too many levels of first of all, there's too many levels of interviews. You have to you end up going through recruiters, you end up going through the hiring manager, then you end up going through 3 or 4 people on the team, and then someone else, then back to the hiring manager and back to the recruiter. And the average is somewhere in like the 4.5 hour range of like just interviews, full on interviews. There's no reason that any like, and you're doing that with like 5 people, with 5 candidates. Like, think about it, like 5 candidates. Like, you're spending 20 hours as a company to hire this one person.
Wow.
You're wasting a lot of that. It's just there's a lot of time wasted. I'll put it that way. The second thing I think where we're really slacking in terms of companies is the need for all of these keywords that need to be met.
Mhm.
Why does this role require 5+ years of experience, but if somebody has 15, they're not eligible? They're not like, they've missed that requirement. Where here I thought 5+ means anything over 5, which is 15. That should be fine, but apparently it's not. So if you have on your resume 15 and not the 5+, you're past the side.
Mm.
It's just, I think with technology as advanced as it is, and it really is, and there's a lot of things that technology has enhanced about the job seeking world. It has also hindered the job seeking world in that it's too reliant on these cookie cutter questions,
Yeah.
cookie cutter questions that don't mean anything.
Mhm.
I would rather hire somebody who is qualified but possibly doesn't meet the 45 words. Maybe they meet 3 words, but they're a great hire. You know, they're going to work hard. You're not going to get that from a resume. You're not going to get that from even your LinkedIn profile. You're going to get that from a conversation, and you're going to get that just from looking at the resume and saying, you know what, I'm going to give this person a chance instead of putting it through the machine where it says no. When the robot tells you no, you're not, this person is not qualified for that role. It's like, no, just gotta put the human back in human resources
Oh
sometimes.
boy.
Just have to do it.
Oh boy.
Just have to do it.
Uh,
Just have to do it.
our frequent listener, Jessica DeBestica, has joined us. And
Hi, Jessica.
I think you might be singing Jessica's song right now. Yeah, shout out to Jessica. Yeah, it's like it's like the multiple choice tests in college and they put it through the Scantron and they tell you how much you know. That is
Mhm.
not an indication. And
No.
the
No.
biggest thing, I mean, when I was back when I worked in corporate slavery, there were international incidents. Let's just leave it at that. But back when I worked and we were hiring people, to me, it was like, okay, this resume is in the ballpark. But the more important was meeting someone, looking in their eyeballs, really, having a conversation. That was where the magic happened because what I wanted to know was, uh, will you get along in the situation that we have here? And will I get along with you? I mean, that was, for the people that were working directly with me, that's what I wanted to know because at that point, I spent more time in the office than I did at home with the people I love and have elected to spend time with.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I, I think the funny thing is about interviews, they're you're meeting with somebody for 45 minutes. I don't know what you're gaining from that 45 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to gain that much more from that 4 hours, but if I'm if I'm hiring someone, I'm interviewing them for an hour, I'm sitting with them, I'm asking them all the questions, they're answering them the way that they need to. I do that with 5 people. I knock that down to 3. I bring those 3 people back to meet the other member of another member of the team and maybe my boss, and then you're making a decision.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I'm not there's no way that I'm going to learn any more about you bringing you in for a 5th time as I'm going to learn on the 2nd time. Like what else am I going to learn from you? I was in media and advertising for 20 years. And I remember interviewing a ton of people, and one of the questions that I would ask them, because we were in television, was what are your 3 favorite TV shows? And I remember one girl came in, she was like interviewing for an assistant position. She's like, I don't watch
Yeah,
TV.
we got to go.
It wasn't, she doesn't watch TV. And it was for a television research job. The funny thing is, I hired her, and now she's the VP of the department
Oh, wow.
that I used to run. So she's running the department that I used to run. I hired her as an assistant because it had nothing to do with the fact that she didn't know media. She was interested in research, and she was interested in the numbers, and she was interested in putting those uh those those plans together, those PowerPoints together, those uh reports together, and then was able to talk about
Yeah.
them. I can teach you systems. Systems are easy to teach.
Yeah.
But if you have a love of something, you can't teach that.
No.
And that, so what a resume will tell you, will tell me is that you know this system, but I don't know if you love the industry or not. I don't know if you love the department or not. I don't know if you love numbers, if whatever it might be. I have no idea. I will only know that if I talk to you. So
Well, and talking to people is so important. I would now like to turn the conversation to what you do to engage people. Uh, this, my friends, this is interesting and cool. Take it away, my friend.
So if you can't tell, and I know you can tell because we've instant best friends. I talk a lot. There's a lot of talking that I do, but my one true passion really is research, and I think the research that goes into putting together your resume and everything like that, putting together your list of networking opportunities, your list of companies that you want to work for, and everybody that works there. It's a whole big thing. But for me, I've always used LinkedIn as the primary source of finding people that I want to engage with, that I want to talk to, that will become eventual clients, if you will. But I do a lot of research within LinkedIn. There's a lot. If you go through, you'll see there's a lot of people that I view their profile. I go through everything that they're doing. I go through all of their experience. I go through all of their posts if there's any posts to be had. Those are the people, as I'm doing that research, those are the people that I'm reaching out to, and those are the people that I'm engaging with, and those are the people that I'm talking to, that I want to help, that I selfishly want them to become my clients. It's gotten to the point where I will reach out to, say, 10 people, and I will get 10 phone calls with those 10 people, because not only I'm doing that due diligence and engaging with them, I'm genuinely interested in them, in what their story is, and what they have to say, and what they have to tell, and listening to their hardships and listening to their successes and all that. But I think that comes into trying to find a job as well. I mean, if you think about basic storytelling, your idea, the characters, the plot, the suspense and the conflict, and then the ending. And that's really what you're doing when you're trying to find a job too. Like, you need to focus on your idea, and I need to focus on the people that I'm talking to. I need to focus on who I'm looking for. You need to focus on what you're looking for. If you are a director of marketing in industry A, you should not be looking at any chief nursing officer roles in healthcare. Should not be doing it. Focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Focus on director of marketing, because that's what you want to do, and that's fine. Character development, that's your value prop, that's your resume, that's your LinkedIn profile. You're developing your character. Who are you? What have you done? What do you want to do? What do you want these documents to say? What do you want these documents to talk about your character and who you are? You have your beginning, middle, and end of your plot. You're trying to find a job. That's what you're doing. What has led you to this point, and what is going to take you to the end? Like, what is that going to look like? I'm going through your experience on LinkedIn from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you? From the bottom. Sorry. I go from the bottom to the top. Where were you? And here and here. I don't care what happened that you had 3 jobs in 1 year. Doesn't make a difference. Makes no difference. I don't know what the circumstances are. I am not going to assume I know what the circumstances are. Doesn't matter. Building the suspense. What is the conflict? Oh, I'm going to fight you, ATS systems. I don't like you. So then what do? You go out and you do a little bit more research, and you do due diligence, and you go through the companies and you look to see, hey, do I know somebody? Can I talk to them? I'm going to develop my messaging, make sure that the messaging is on point, but still under my character that I've developed.
Yeah.
Again, game show host, that's my character. So when I go out and I have these conversations, I stand there with the microphone and, hello, thank you, and welcome. Although I do need the long Bob Barker microphone. That's my
The
goal,
stick
is to
mic.
get that connected to my computer. Like, just as a side note. So the next time I'm there. I'm gonna hold it down here, and the microphone's gonna be up here, and that's exactly what
Oh,
that's what I need. Okay,
life
that's what
goals.
I. Yes, and I might make a set. I don't know. I don't know. There's a possibility.
Oh,
There's a possibility. I have lumber in the garage that needs to be. Yeah, I might do that. But anyway, I digress. Let me just go to the ending. Which, I mean, what is the end goal for any job seeker? Is the job. You know, that's what it is. The end of any story is the happy ending, or you know, they all lived happily ever after. And that's really what you strive for. The end goal when I'm engaging with a potential client, give me a phone. Let's get on a phone call. Let's get on a Zoom call. Like that if that's the end of that conversation, that's the end of that conversation. And that's fine. You're now in my universe. I'm going to help you whether you're a client of mine that you're actually handing me dollars or not. I'm going to help you network. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you tips. I'm going to check in on you and make sure that you're okay. I saw a post the other day on LinkedIn. Uh, they said that they had applied to, I think, over 700 jobs in the last month, right? 2 interviews, I think, nothing that went any further than a first interview. And there were thousands of likes and there were hundreds of comments. And out of all those thousands of likes and hundreds of comments, not one person asked the author, "How are you?" Not one. Everything was commenting for reach.
mm-hmm.
Hang in there. You'll find something soon. But nobody asked, "How are you?" You know? So when it comes to myself, like I'm going to reach out to you and I'm gonna ask you, how's everything going? What do you need help with?
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I do to help you? What can I do to help you? 7 words.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? And if all they say is no, I'm good right now. Great. Keep me in mind when you do, if something does happen
Yeah.
that you do need that help. There's not enough. I don't think that there's enough helpers in this world, especially in the job market world. I think there's a lot of people who offer the help of, well, yeah, I'll network for you, and then you don't hear from
Yeah.
them. You know, you, yeah, sure, no, I'll keep you in mind, and then like 7 years later, you get a pitch slap from them. You know,
I love you so much, Eddie. Thank you for using
so
that word. It makes me
you know
happy.
it's it is what it is, and this comes from a direct marketer. Like, I'm a direct response marketing vet. That's all that you do is pitch
Yeah.
slap. So, like, honestly, like 800 number commercials on television. I mean, go buy it now. It doesn't work. You're going to spend $14.99 on this product, and it's going to break in 3 minutes, but you're still going to do it because I'm telling you to do
Yeah.
it. So I understand that concept. I understand that world, but when it comes to job seeking, it's a different. I think it's one that we need to tread lightly, and that we need to be understanding. And I think it's one that we need to be empathetic and compassionate about. And unfortunately, I don't see a lot of that. I don't see the compassion or the empathy. I see I'm going to give you advice.
Mm.
You should do this. And as opposed to, let's talk about what you're doing and see what I can help you with. Because it might not be that little piece of advice. And me, I do everything I do is one-on-one. There's no quantity in what I do, because everybody's story is unique and everybody needs something different, whether they know it or not. They have a director of marketing is going to be different than a director of marketing.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it is, because who's in this industry, and what levels and everything like that. So
That brings me a question. So your approach, your invitations are not quantity based. This is not the quantity game. This is the quality game.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. 100%. I I will say this as somebody in business. I sit up late at night thinking how can I make it quantity just so I can have a stream of revenue because money makes the world go round, right? And if I can help more people, that's great. And then I wake up in the morning and I get onto LinkedIn and that's my 10. And then I walk away from it. And there you go. So the quantity is not the important thing to me. The quality is the important thing to me. And I know that about myself and I say it every day and I'm like, no, let me figure out a way if I can help more people, I can do that. And then here I am with the 10 people. And I'm like, nope, these are the 10 people I'm going to talk to this week. And these are the 10 people I'm going to talk to next week. And that's it.
So my question is this. Would you ever in your life sacrifice your compassion, empathy, your knowledge, your research of that person? Would you ever sacrifice that for a bigger list?
No.
Why?
No, because I can't. Because I physically can't do it. Like I made the joke earlier with a colleague. My CRM is a spreadsheet, is an Excel spreadsheet, and I manage it, and it's like 139 people on one list, and like 145 people on another list, like the two different. I add a few people here and there. And that's what it like. That's what it is. Like I don't have the want. Want is the wrong word. It's not. It's not that I don't want to help thousands of people. I do. I just think that when it comes to someone's job search, helping, like not being able to provide that time, energy, and dedication to that person, shortchanges that person.
Yeah.
Because they again like the way that I look at it is it's a unique situation. If I read that book right there and then I start reading that book and then I start reading that book and I'm reading all three at the same time, now I'm getting all like there's a little confusion. Like I want to finish that book before I get to that
Yeah.
book. And that's just the way that I am. I went through all of the Marvel movies in I think one summer because I just decided that I didn't want to watch them. And then I was like, no, I do want to watch them. I figured out what order I needed to watch them in, and I watched them over the course of, but I didn't jump ahead. I didn't, new ones came out. Like, oh, do you want to go to the movies? No, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So I don't want to bring on 10 more people for the sake of dollars if the 10 people that I'm working with are still in limbo.
Yep.
Now, I will say this. I am strategy, I am planning. I'm a consultant. I am not a headhunter. I'm not a recruiter. I am not I will network. I will help you research. I will do but like you're going to do it on your own.
Yep.
Like it's your job, it's your life. Like I will be there to help you. I will be there to hold your hand if need be. I will be there to cheer you on from the sidelines. I will slip in advice and slip in, use this document. This is a good document, when need be. But eventually you're the one that has to go out and sell yourself to that company that's going to hire you. You're the one that's going to have to be in that interview, not me. So eventually, there's the cutting, you gotta cut that cord and be like, okay, go, push the bird off the edge
Fly,
and hope it
birdie.
flies. Fly, birdie. Please use your arms. Use your wings. Use your wings.
Yeah. Well,
Please don't fall.
I mean, and that's 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 why I choose to have you as a friend and a colleague, even though we don't do the same thing, is because when your values are, this is the way I want to help people, now let's structure everything else around that. Those are the folks that I want to spend time around in business, not I made $1 million last week, and so can you if you buy this 18-step program. Shut up. I'm done.
Well,
You know.
that is, and that's something that it's interesting that you say that, because you see people post things on LinkedIn. They're like, the only way to build your business is constant posting on LinkedIn and engagement and doing all of these things. And then you go on Facebook and you're served his ad
Mm-hmm.
because he's doing advertising through Facebook, because it's a bigger audience and it's easier to do. Oh, but you just said that the only way to do it is to post. Meanwhile, now I'm posting. I'm like, oh, 390 impressions. Great. I'm doing so well. But it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. I post and the people that see it. And that's what I need. Like I need the people that are in my world.
Yeah.
Like I don't need all these other
I don't
yahoos
need
and
the yahoos.
flim flams and jickety jacks and whatever else you want to call
I
them.
want to hear a list. I'm very interested in the list. Yeah, I last week one of my clients sent me a webinar. I've been doing chatbots for 6 years. I started out in Messenger, where everyone started out with ManyChat, and I wrote a lot of different journeys for people. And eventually I moved on from that. Now my stuff's a lot more advanced, and of course we've been incorporating AI for 3 years, GPT since January. There's a lot of work gone into it. And this webinar was this bro marketer. Oh my God, the skateboard was actually visible. And this guy was, oh my gosh, this AI, and we've done thousands of hours of work on the AI part of this. But I noticed he never actually showed us the AI work he was doing. He did show us the bot that he was building, and it was on ManyChat, and it was almost exactly like the bots that I started out with 6 years ago. He's AI washing the whole thing because that's a hot buzzword right now.
Of course. Of course.
And selling a whole bunch of people a class he'll never support. Here's your stack of videos, goodbye. And he's gonna make a lot of money on that. And the reason I would not. That kind of total BS does not align with my values, is not. I wanna leave a legacy behind myself. I wanna make a mark on the marketing world for heart-centered individuals.
Yeah.
And you wanna make a mark on the job-seeking world to help make it easier for people.
I do. I mean, I could just as easily make this a course. I can go to Kajabi or Teachable or Coursera or any one of them and put up 10 videos and be like, go ahead, go.
Yeah.
Good. Get all the secrets, because they're hidden secrets, and it's like Temple of Doom. Like you gotta go through the forest and figure out, oh, you make the left turn, you make the right turn, you're gonna meet these people, and do all this, and then if you go underneath this rock, there's a key, and then if you go to the door, you unlock the door. There's 2 more doors, and you got to go through one of the doors, and you figure, no, job seeking is not difficult. Like it's not a world where you have to open up all of these doors to find out what is happening or what to do. You just gotta you be yourself with it. You bring out your personality when you're talking to people. You have a conversation with somebody. It's an interview. If you go into it thinking that it's an interview, whether you're getting a job or not. I think I think coaches and that world, uh, it's the preying on the emotion.
Don't
It's
even get me
the
started. We will be here all night, sir.
yeah, if we're gonna knock off 15%, it's gonna come down to $4,500.
Let me say that this gimmick, they pulled out these people I was watching. Oh, you can tell how mad I was, right? They pulled out the biggest gimmicks, and one of the biggest ones was this: that the cost of the class is $5,000. But if you apply today, our company will give you an instant grant of 2,500, bringing the price down. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm,
did you just say that in
mm-hmm.
words? Do you know how
We did.
insulted I feel? I am not even your audience.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. I go through. I love signing up for those webinars, and then I record
Oh, yeah.
them, and then I watch them again, and I'm like, oh, this is so not. This is like if I was ever to do a webinar series, I'm going to do the exact opposite of this. Like that's just not the way that it's gonna. Like my webinar is gonna have it's gonna have those three in the
Yeah.
background. It's gonna have like if I have a PowerPoint, it's gonna have like cartoon characters and just silliness on it because that's life. And I like these web they're not that's not life. And I don't buy any of it. Again, go onto LinkedIn and you follow somebody and they're like, if you post every day, you will get an audience, and then they're paying for ads on Facebook. And it's like, yeah, but what is happening right now? What is happening? Like, and all of this to attract the person who can't pay rent
Yeah.
because they don't have a job. Okay, who can't pay for utilities because they don't have a job. And it's like, if you just had the heart to be like, hey, let me show you these free resources that are out there that you can use. There you go. Instead of the $4,500 that's already discounted 15% because you signed up tonight for, you know, a group chat once a week
With people that are
and
not the person on the screen, by the way.
modules
Mm.
and modules that you have to complete, that if you don't complete the first module, you don't get to the second module
Mhm.
because I don't have anything better to do right now than to sit here and figure out the module and answer these 25 questions that mean nothing because I need a job. Like, go research a company, the company that you want to work for, who's working there, figure out your messaging, figure out your network, how to get in there, start talking to people. And if you're an introvert, just smile. Smile and ask them to talk. People love to talk. People love to hear their own voice. I guarantee you, if you let somebody talk long enough, eventually they're going to be like, "So, how can I help you?"
Yeah.
How can I help you? Happens to me all the time. Like I get on these sales calls or whatever. I oh, I would really love to hear about your newest platform that is white labeled from,
Yeah.
HubSpot. But tell me how you can get me 15 to 20 new leads a week. Tell me. And then they talk and talk. Well, what can I do for you? Yeah, I'm good right now. I think
Mhm.
I'm okay. I got all the info I
Yeah.
need. You know, I mean, I've met good people and I've referred people to good people. Um, not everybody's good though. I'll say that.
No. They are not.
They're not.
Well, yeah. Well, and gosh, I'm first of all, I want to say this. I want to say to you, Eddie, if I have not mentioned this to you before, and to Jessica DeBestica, you really are the bestica. Um, Contrepreneur Bingo. Look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
Contrepreneur. So Instead of entrepreneur, it's the word con and then TRA-preneur. Contrepreneur bingo. It is so enlightening. So this guy, this YouTuber, he actually records these webinars and he watches them back as if he's a prospect for those people. And he's got this bingo sheet in front of him. And on this bingo sheet is stuff like uh bullshit backstory and bonus stack and the discounted offer. So he's got these he's made this bingo
Mhm.
card and he marks these things off and he's like, oh, I think that's a bullshit backstory. And he'll mark off something on the card and then he'll look and be super interested in what they're saying. It is it made me want to laugh so hard that, sometimes you see lights, you laugh so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me laugh that hard and to be sick, just at the same time. So do me a favor, if you're gonna watch this thing on
I'm going
YouTube,
to.
just garbage bag like you were
Mhm.
going to a Gallagher concert. Garbage bag the area in case the vomit starts coming. Because wow,
Yeah.
this guy is so funny, and it's
Th
absolutely real. He would actually like dress up and be undercover at some of
Oh
these
my
live
gosh.
events as well.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah.
See, that's what I wanna now that's what I wanna do. That's what I want my job to be.
Well, yeah.
Like, I want to do that
Yeah.
and grow a YouTube channel and then not have to worry about anything. Just that's what I do now.
Okay, everybody, Eddie's changing his line of work.
That's it. I'm changing my world, changing my life.
You heard it here
It's a
first.
career change. It's a career change. It's funny though, because I love how there has to be a square on that bingo card that they were that the presenter was how many dollars in debt
Oh.
when they figured out what that next step was. There's one out there now. He was in $495,000 of debt, and in a little over 3 months, he was out of debt.
Mhm.
Um, that's how what how
How? What?
what I mean, I'm not quick on the maths. I'm not quick anymore. Like I gotta, here's my calculator. But if I went 500,000 divided by 3, that's a lot. That's more than, say, like some CEOs at companies make in a year.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, why aren't CEOs at companies doing exactly what you're doing? What's happening here?
I know, like, the same with the dudes who and this is totally if you go to Entrepreneur Bingo, you'll see what I'm saying. But so the dudes who, like, sit and say, "What I'm about to share with you is gonna make you so much money. This is how much money it's made me," and they tell their little BS story, and then they say, "I make $200,000 an hour." If you make $200,000 an hour. Why are you giving a webinar on how to do the same thing? A. And B, if your time is really worth that much, why aren't you out there spending it with the people who are going to pay you?
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel that they've got this audience right in front of them
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
actually pay. This whole I'm worth $200,000 an hour, whatever, bro marketers, it's fine.
So if I was worth $200,000 an hour and I did that and I worked 8 hours, $1.6 million, and there's taxes, right? And I pay, let's say 50, so even 50% of it is taxes, 800 grand a day. I think I'm only going to work 5 days, and then I'm not going to do anything for the rest of my life.
Yes. I'll work
Because
5 days
that's
every
four
year.
after taxes. That's $4 million.
Welcome to RJ's yacht. I mean, like that's
Like,
$4 million.
what are we doing?
I,
If I had a way to pay off like the $300 of credit card debt that I have on one of my cards right now, I would do it.
yes, I would be out doing that.
I would be out doing that.
It's just
The
always
300.
and when you start watching 3 or 4 of those videos in a row, I think he's got about I mean, he's got a lot of videos, but he's got about between 15 and 20 on coaches alone. Um, and when you start seeing the similarities and seeing the formula, because it's
Yeah.
incredibly formulaic what these folks do, when you start seeing the formula, it's like, how did I not see this?
Well, I coming from direct response marketing, there is a
Yeah.
formula for if you watch a 2-minute commercial on television, it is the same. It's the black and white version of the person in the kitchen fumbling over the, oh, I don't know how to work my can opener, and that like it falls on their head and it falls on the floor and they can't do anything, and like, well, how am I going to fix this? And then they give you a can opener that's a can opener but it has a light on it, and it moves across the counter on its own, and then it opens the can, and then you can eat your tuna fish right out of the can. And like that, but that scripting, very
Very
the formula is the same. So, but at the same time, and I don't want to knock formula though, because formula works. You message, like when you figure out your messaging, I do a lot of A/B messaging. I do a lot of testing. When something works, oh, I'm using it over and over again, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that formula. I think it becomes, as when you get into when you prey on the hurt, and you prey on the wounded, and you prey on the quick fix, because obviously there isn't. Like even the whole Amazon thing now, to like, oh, I'm just gonna, you do the same quote over and over again and you don't have to have warehouse stuff. Like, oh, I'm gonna make thousands of dollars a day, but no one tells you that there's the fulfillment center that you have to pay for, and this you have to pay for, and this you have to pay for, and this you have to pay for, and then you have to do advertising and you have to push it, and it's not just set it and forget it. You actually have to do stuff. So I don't think, to go back to the original question, I am quality, not quantity. I will put together, as I said, I'm going to put together, I have a list of 15 webinars that are they're not going to be live webinars. It might be like 7 minutes. It's me being a goofball, probably. It's me being me. And then, you want to go watch them, go watch them. You want to talk, we'll talk. Like that's the quantity that I'm going to get to. Yeah. And that's about as much quantity as it's going to be. It's not going to be, at the end of it, it's not going to be, well, if you book a call with me now, I'm going to knock off $8 off of the $25, service charge I'm charging. No, like that's not going to happen. The quality will always be there. And I think when it comes to, like, if you wanted to work for a company, you want to work for a quality company. You're only going to work with one company at a time. Like, even as a consultant, I work with 2 companies at a time. Yeah. That's it. Because I don't want to work with all these Yahoos, and Flim Flams, and Jiminy Jacks. I want to do that. I want to work with the people that I want to work with. That's it.
Life's too short to work with you.
It is too short. With. Calling someone a Yahoo it's very cathartic.
It's hilarious, actually.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm in. Life's too short to work with people who don't value you, and you need to go where you're celebrated. And if that's not in your chair right now, do something about it. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. I just want to say we have nearly talked away an hour, apparently.
I told you.
I
6.5 hours. On it. Who do we bring in when there's a bathroom break? Who do we have to
Yeah,
bring in? Do I
exactly.
have to like
Well,
bring in my
Ranger.
kids to do a
Yeah.
little? I'll bring in my kids to do like to entertain for like the 30
Yeah.
seconds, and then I'll come running back.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Well, we probably should wrap up, but we need to have you on like regularly, Eddie, because you're Eddie. And
I'm
I want to thank you for that story about how you engage your people and how you wouldn't trade it for a bigger list.
no,
Because in the beginning and the end of the day, I want this earth to have a little RJ mark.
I love it.
And I'm not gonna make my mark by treating everybody in my audience like they're numbers, like they're transactions that I'm supposed to have and that somebody owes me.
Yep.
And I'm only gonna get there by these types of methods that you talked about today. So thanks for educating us
Thank
and
you.
making us laugh at the same time, which is always golden.
Uh,
If you want to get a
you
hold
got
of
it.
this individual, everybody out there, Eddie Wilders on LinkedIn, uh, go get him. Anything else you want to drop for us today?
I should have an outro. I promise that the next time I'm here, I'll have a smart, funny, you know, outro that I'm probably I'm gonna write about 75,000 times,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna revise and revise and revise because it's never gonna be good enough. And then I'm gonna say it, and it's just gonna happen. So, yeah, but I'll think of an outro. I'll think of something for for the next time.
Okay.
I promise. I promise. I
All
promise.
right.
Although there's a good possibility that I'm not going to do it, and we're just going to do this again, and we'll be like, no, I promise, I'll do it the next time. Next time, oh, outro, I'll do it next time. So that that might be my outro.
That might be it.
That might have been it. That might have been it.
Well, we do
Next
have a
time,
fan,
promise.
Eddie. We have a fan. It's Jessica.
Jessica, mwah!
Uh, we would. I'd be happy to do a fireside chat with
Yes.
Jessica. It'd be a lot of fun. So let us.
We didn't even talk about sitcoms. I was all ready to talk about like how like sitcoms influence everything that I do. We didn't even get to that.
No.
I was working through that all day today.
No.
That's okay. No, that hey, you know what I do? You leave a little nugget. You leave a little nugget for the next time. You know, a little cliffhanger for the next time.
I am gonna leave a
You
little
do.
cliffhanger right now.
There you
All
go.
right. So
Do it.
and it's the thing that I was telling you about. So part 2 coming up. You know that there's going to be a part 2 to
Mm-hmm.
this. Absolutely. So so y'all, within the sound of my voice, Jessica as well, my friend, watching on the Twitch. I've been studying the brand new AI world for some time. I am going to be producing a little event every month called Unmasking AI, your coaching superpower, secret superpower. Doing it on LinkedIn next week, Wednesday, but also going to be adding to the epic engagement adventure. Going to be adding a little weekly episode, radio drama, sound effects, weird voices. It will be loosely Star Trek based. And when I say loosely, I mean Gene Roddenberry is going to flip over in his grave and be angry with me. But I mean, clearly, I'm not afraid of that. It's going to have to do with AI, and it's going to.
He might be there. If it's about AI, he might be
Oh,
there.
we might be
Like
able to
there's a
guess him
possibility they've
in.
already like brought him
Yeah,
back. Oh yeah, he's gonna call in.
he's gonna call in. It's gonna be nothing short of completely ridiculous. And we're getting a yes. We're getting a yes from Jessica. That's awesome. So you know, I'm gonna be. This is coming up here within the next couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of development on this, a lot of research and development, a lot of work with ChatGPT as well. And I believe we're going to bring something quality to the world that will teach about the ethics of using AI and how to use it how to use it for yourself without victimizing anyone else. And we're gonna laugh a whole lot. So do join me for that, y'all. And with that, I'm gonna sign off. We'll see you next week, same bot time, same bot channel. Eddie Wilders, we love you. Thanks for coming on, man.